Hello, YouTube world. Thank you for stopping by my channel, We Focus. My name is Darius Thompson, the creator, and I made the title very polarizing for a reason. This conversation is not going to necessarily be about those particular things, but I wanted to create this shock value because there are some things I want to talk about specifically with Bank of America and its grant program. Now, there's an article on CNBC, and it's titled, Bank of America Launches Zero Down Payment Mortgages to Help Minorities Buy Their First Home. Here's who can apply. And it goes on to talk about the program called the Community Affordable Loan Solution will be available to certain markets, including majority Black and/or Hispanic Latino neighborhoods in Charlotte, North Carolina, Dallas, Detroit, Los Angeles, and Miami. The loans are subject to rigorous underwriting and are based on credit guidelines including on-time bill payments, including rent, utilities, phone, and auto insurance. Eligibility is based on income and home location. No minimum credit score or mortgage insurance is required. Applicants do not have to be Black or Hispanic Latino to qualify for the loans. So everyone can qualify for this loan potentially, or these loans. Now, Bank of America is trying to bridge this gap, and this is where I have a problem. Bank of America is saying to the communities at large in which they serve, there's no minimum credit score required and no down payment required. Now, what Bank of America, in my opinion, is failing to do is educate first. You don't have a right to own a home. So this idea that this gap needs to be bridged, and we are the ones, Bank of America and various other institutions, believe that it is their responsibility to bridge this gap of home ownership. That's simply not true. Because someone who does not have any idea what their credit score is unaware. As an adult, you have no idea. You never heard of Experian, Equifax, or TransUnion. That's a problem right there. Because as an adult functioning in this society, you should be well aware of what your credit score is, what is impacting your credit score, because this is something that we've all been taught that lenders look at to determine your credit worthiness. So Bank of America is saying, don't worry about that. And we all know, and there are various schools of thought on having a specific percentage to put down as your equity payment for a home that you would be interested in. We're all aware of that. And Bank of America is saying, don't worry about that either. Now, my personal opinion, for the millions of people who are unaware of what their credit score is and do not have any idea of what would be inadequate down payment for a particular home that you would be interested in, you have no need for that home. Again, owning a home is not a right. It is a privilege. So in order for us to be privileged for something, we should be educated and qualified for what it is that we want. Now, there may be some people that may say, well, that there are so many American families that, are not in adequate housing, and it would be really great for them to own a home. Yes, it would. Now, of these families, we may not be on the same wavelength when it comes to family. But let me tell you what I consider a family to be: a husband, a wife, and children. Or a long-term relationship that is composed of a man, a woman, and children. If that family needs a home, then that man, it's his responsibility to put himself in a financial position to afford the home that would be adequate for himself and his family. It is no one else's job. And again, would it be nice to have a home if you have a family? Absolutely. But why is it so foreign to so many people that you should have what you need first? The family can always come after. Let me give you my personal situation. I live in a one-bedroom apartment. Now, let's say my significant other, I find that woman that I love this woman unconditionally, head over heels, fairy tale, right? Follow me on this. And I asked this woman to marry me. She's like, yes, all about it. Married, okay. She moves in. Me and her in a one-bedroom apartment, we can make it work. But before that, let me go back. Meet this woman, fall in love. Great. Love is strong. I tell her, I want 3 children. She's like, yep, I do too. Fine, great, that'll work. We get married, move into my one-bedroom apartment. Say within that first year, we have our first child. Now there's no other room, there's nowhere else for this baby to be. That could put it in the living room, I guess. But more than likely, let's just say the baby's going to be in our room. And for anyone that's had children, that's going to be difficult. I think that's why the whole baby monitor thing has exploded, because the baby is in another room. It's not in your room. So we're making it work. But we can all say, us reasonably intelligent adults can say that that's going to be very difficult. Emotionally, financially, that is going to create a strain. It's natural. That's baby number 1. Now, I said 3, we said 3. Now, she may have thought at that time, like, you know what? Things will change. We'll get to a place to where that's going to make sense, because 5 of us in a one-bedroom apartment will not work. It cannot. Can it work? Yes, but reasonable, intelligent. That's what we're going to be. It can't work. So at some point, I'm going to have a conversation with my wife, or my wife is going to initiate the conversation to say that, you know what, financially, things need to change. This one-bedroom apartment, it's not enough. But my finances haven't changed, and hers have not either. So that means, what that says to me, what it should say to all of you watching this, we have planned to have a family that we cannot accommodate. It is no one else's job to make the accommodation. It was foolish of me to even think that. And that woman, unfortunately, was a bigger fool to go along with this idea. Now let me give you another scenario. I'm trudging along. I think financially I'm in a great position. I plan on purchasing my first 3-bedroom, 2-bath home before May 21st of 2024. Same scenario. Find a wife. Head over heels. Fairy tale. We get married. We're living in this 1-bedroom apartment. Now the sound and logical thing would be for me to say to her, and us to come to an agreement to say that, you know what, we're not going to start to grow our family until we're in the home. Now what happened? I became educated along the way about home ownership, what it takes for me to be in this position. I have a wife. We know what our long-term goals are. Let's get in the home first. Let's get our financial position up to a place to where it makes sense for us to do that. Now, ladies, which one of those situations would you choose? Option A, to outgrow a 1-bedroom apartment with the emotional and financial constraints of now being forced into this race for an adequate level of finances to accommodate this growing family. Or a man who already has a purpose, is driven, is determined, and has a set goal in mind for growing a family. Which one of those two situations makes more sense? It's my responsibility as a man to bridge the gap. It is no one else's, especially if we're talking about families. Everything in life, everything that we do, how we live, where we work, the way we dress, we qualify for those things. Again, unless with the rare few that it's been given to you or it's been inherited. Okay, fine. We're going to put those to the side. We're going to put those individuals to the side because it's not relevant to this particular message. But if you don't qualify for something, you simply don't qualify for it. You should accept that. And then you should develop an action plan to put yourself in a position to qualify for whatever it is that you want and you truly desire. But everyone has a right to the American dream. That's like saying we all have the same dream. That doesn't make any sense. And what is the American dream? I'm not even going to touch that. The only gap that should be bridged is the financial education gap. Learning about money. What is money's primary purpose? What is its function? What skills do I possess? What am I good at? What am I great at? What do I offer to the economy? Rest assured, your inputs will always be in direct proportion to your outputs. And for those of you that may be witness to somebody whose inputs don't necessarily reflect their outputs, then those individuals are already at a ceiling. They can't go any higher. And eventually the scales will balance themselves out. It is a natural law. It has to be that way. But there are too many aspects of this economy as a whole to where we deem the powers that be, these institutions deem that I have to do something about the disparity. No, educate people. That's where it should start, in education. It has to start there. Again, it's somebody who has no concept of money, doesn't understand the way money works, the way the economy is to function. They only know what most of us have been trained to do is spend money. Elon Musk could trade his entire fortune with that person, and in the span of a decade, two at the most, that person would have given all of his money back into an economy that would have flowed some way towards a man of Elon Musk's thought process. Jeff Bezos, Warren Buffett, you can go down the list of Forbes and all the other educated men and women that understand what money is and the circular flow of the economy. So there's no way to bridge that gap because the person doesn't know what money is and what its primary function is. They haven't received a financial education, so it does not matter what you give them. They will eventually lose it or give it away through no fault of their own, just ignorance. And that's what I think we all need to understand. Educate yourself on what it is that you want and desire first. And then you need to align your thinking and your actions with the outcome that you seek. And it's not a question of if you get there, it's just a question of when, based on your energy and your effort. But it can't just be given to you. We all know the saying, give a man a fish, you feed him for a day. Teach him to fish, you feed him for life. But these areas of this broader economy that we live in, to where we want to keep giving fish away without educating the people on how to fish. Because once you do that to one person, each one teach one. And it grows like that. Thank you all for watching. Please like, share, leave your comment in the comment section below. I know this was a lengthy video. I want to engage with you all. I want to know what you all think. And I hope some of the things that I said helped. I was very honest in my interpretation of this broader economy and what Bank of America is attempting to do. Thank you all again for watching. Till next time, bye.